Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
you
put
come,
it all over again.
yeah, so you click on this first row, you come to freeze panes, you click on freeze first, freeze top row. You click it and it is frozen. If I start scrolling down now, you see everything is going up except that one. Can you see that?
Yes,
So
yes.
yes, each point in time now you can be able to know what you're dealing with. Not that you just see figures going up, but you don't know what they stand for. So you can freeze this top row so that you'll be able to know what they stand for. That is the first thing that we have. So mostly in the corporate world, we use this a lot, especially when we are in meetings like this and you want to show data to your team and all that. If you start scrolling down and going up, people will start telling you that I can just see figures, I don't know what they mean. So you would have to just rush and do this. You click the heading, you go to view, you go to freeze panes, and you freeze the top row so that as you're scrolling down, they should keep seeing, knowing if they are on this column, they should know that the column stands for unit cost. They should be seeing it. That is it. All right. So this
Okay.
is yes. So this is what we have. We are just supposing now that this is a set of goods that we sold per day, but we have to do some analysis now. Now, for us to do some analysis, we need to uh, start some calculations. If we sold,
Doctor, doctor, sorry that I'm cutting you. My hand has been up, but it looks like you're not seeing it. Um, my question is from our data, quantity is just quantity. Other quantity, we see the quantity produced, the quantity purchased, sorry, and the quantity sold. There is no difference. So does it make more sense to separate the quantity purchased from the quantity sold? Let me give, for example, in case we want to um, look for a total quantity sold, will the figures not be, I mean, you
yeah,
get what I'm saying?
in this situation now, we are just supposing that we are just giving same quantities to each of them, which means that
Okay.
if any quantity that we have, we are going to apply it for both purchase and sales, such that it's not going to bring in imbalances. That is the reason why we are just using one quantity. So if it's that we are selling 100, it means that we purchased 100 and we sold 100. So even here that we had to fix all this, we are just going to suppose that this is what we purchased and this is what we sold, so that it will not create imbalances.
Wait, just assuming that I was not here when you started, and I just come, I see phone up here, unit cost, quantity, unit price, and I see 100 up here. I come here, I see phone two. I'll interpret it like these are all quantities purchased. You know, you get. In
Yes.
fact, I'll not be able to differentiate whether this quantity here. I'll assume that there are quantities purchased because here I see unit cost.
Yes.
But
So
now I'll not be able to say whether this 100 was it the number of phones sold on that day, or is it the number of quantity purchased on that same day?
yes,
You
I
get my
understand
point?
you. Yes.
Yeah.
So to make it clear now, we are supposing that whatever quantity we see here, it is the quantity purchased and sold for now.
Okay. All
Yes.
right.
So when I will give you the homework to do, I'll specify those things there so that it will be easier for you to be able to do them when you're practicing them.
Okay.
Yes. So now let's begin here. We want to look at maybe total cost. So this is now basic profitability calculation in accounting. We want to look at total cost. So total cost, we should know that the total cost is usually the unit cost of a good times the quantity. So the total cost of a good is usually the unit cost of a good times the quantity. Now we are going to begin with functions now. The first function that we are going to begin with is the product function. The product function is a function, a multiplication function that multiplies the contents of two cells. So it can be in two formats. Either we can use the function or we can just use an operator star that stands for multiplication. Now in Excel, all functions begin with an equal to sign. So we are going to type equal to. So we are going to say product. This is it. When you just start typing a function, it shows. So you can double click to let it in, or you can type it fully by yourself. So product. So Excel is good in that it shows us, it helps to direct us on what we are doing. Product of number. So we want to do the product of this B2, that is the unit cost times the quantity. So we just come here and click this B2. You see how it appears here. We say comma times the quantity. We click the quantity and we close the brackets. So you can either type it B2, comma C2, or you just go click straight. You close the brackets and you press enter. That is all. So for this particular element, it's saying that the total cost of acquiring 100 phones is that is 1, 2, 3. That is 100,000 times this is. So what we can do is we can organize this in accounting. We can give an accounting format to this so that we'll have some commas in thousands that will help us to be able to get the separation in thousands. So now to do this, did somebody want to ask a question?
So I have
Okay.
a click on noise now, okay? Close the
If there's
bracket.
no question, okay. To do this, we just need to click here. We come to home. Then we come to this under the number here. This is general. So there are two ways. We can either click here, we press Control, and we press the 1 key on our keyboard. On the 1 key, you will see an exclamation mark on it. Because if you press Control 1, it's going to take you directly here. And from there now, you can take your accounting format. So when you take your accounting format, it's showing you how it's going to be. For the symbol, you can decide to say that there should be no symbol, none. Then now for the decimal places, you can decide to say, let there just be 1 decimal place or maybe 0 decimal. That is it. That way now you say, okay. Or you say, okay, you see this, right? So you see that it's easier for you to read it now. This is 10 million. Now, what is the good thing about Excel? For those who have never used Excel, if you sold 1 billion times today, you don't need to calculate that 1 billion times. If you have it on this sheet like this, there's what we call relative cell referencing in Excel. All you need to do is click here, then you place your cursor on this corner. When it shows this little plus, you either click and drag down or you just double click. And you see that automatically it calculates the total cost for all other goods that you acquired on that particular day. That is the magic of Excel that facilitates work for those who have never used Excel. That is it. So this is the first function that we have used, the product function. Product is, we are using this function to multiply two things, because for us, if you spend 100,000 to acquire one phone and you bought 100 phones, to know how much you spent on the 100 phones is just to take the 100 times the 100,000. Now with this product function, there is also another one
I
that
have a question. I have a
is,
question. Does it mean that if you wanted to calculate the whole sale for the day, you have to do the calculation of the first sale? I mean, is it the
yes,
sale? Yes. The total, that's the total sum of the first sale.
then,
That's like the phone.
yes,
One, is it 100,000 times 100, or is
mhm.
that 10,000? Yeah, times 100. You must have that first answer correct
Yes.
before you now put the cursor and pull down?
Yes. That is it.
Okay.
So you don't need to go calculating it. If you sold 1 million times,
Yeah, but,
you don't need to go calculating
yeah,
it 1 million times. You just need to enter your data where when you calculate the first one, that's all. You place
yeah,
it.
but I still have an issue with that first calculation, the way you did it.
Okay, the product function.
Which one you
Yes,
pass
the
it to this
product.
laptop?
Sorry?
Yeah, use the other one to open it. Say the
Please
sign up.
mute if there is a background noise.
I'm sorry, please. I didn't know.
Yeah, I mean, how you got the 10,000, is it 10 million
Okay. Yes, this
for
10
the phone?
million is just multiplication of this 100,000 by this 100. So
Yeah.
what we are doing is in arithmetic, when you want to multiply two things or multiply a number of elements, we call it product. You are taking the product of those elements. It means you're multiplying them. So this is what we have. So the function we have is product function. And let me delete this and let's go back to it. You see here, we say equal to. So instead of taking the product, you could have still just said this times. Times now is star times this. So those are the two ways you can be able to multiply in Excel. You can either use product or you can use this star. If you press enter now, it's still going to give you the 10 million. And if you place your cursor here and you click down, it's the same thing. So we can still use the product equals product. You open the brackets. We click here, product of this, comma, this. We close the
How
bracket.
do you open the bracket? Do you need to click somewhere before the brackets open, or you just continue to type
No,
as you go?
you type on your keyboard. But now, if you don't want to type on your keyboard, one good thing with Excel is that when you start typing the formula, it would show. This is it. But
Okay.
to open the bracket on your keyboard, you press the Shift key and you press the nine key, the number 9. On your keyboard, you
Yeah.
see that the number 9 has bracket open. So you press Shift
Yeah.
9. To close, you press Shift 0.
Okay.
Yes. So this with this product, if you see this product and you double click, it will just automatically open the bracket for you. So you click here, comma, and you click here. Then you can close the brackets now, enter. That is it. So when you click here and drop down, that is what you have. Now we can come here and we say maybe total revenue. Total revenue now will be how much we generated from the sales of each of these elements. So you see that we are still going to use the product function because we have to take now the unit price. We sold this, we bought 100 at 100,000. We sold one for 130,000. So we'll say equal to product again. Product of 100 and 130,000. Enter. So let's also put this, we press our Control 1, we put it accounting format, symbol, we don't want any currency there, decimal, we don't want any decimal, we say okay. It gives us 13 million. So we can place our cursor here and we click, we'll be able to have the rest. So that is the first function that we've been able to go through, the product function. Now, if we want to calculate now our profits, we know that profit is usually total revenue minus total cost. How much we generated minus how much we spent. So let's say profits So with profit now, we'll say equal to, we just need to click here, F2 minus E2, because this is total revenue minus total cost for the first one. Enter. Means that for the first phone that we sold, the first set of phones that we sold, we made a profit of 3 million. Then now we can click here and we double click. So we have generated our profits of every element now that we sold. Now, this is just a small case that we have. We have now to start answering a few questions. What if the management of the company comes in now and starts asking us questions? How many fridges did we sell today? Can you see that? Because after analyzing, this is large data. Like if we have to take this report, let's say the managing director of the company needs report for today, we will not just carry this and go and give him, because this is too much for him to understand, to start going through and all that. When he comes in, what he's going to be asking us is, how many phones did we sell today? How much money did we generate totally from the sales of phones? How much money did we generate totally from the sales of each element? Which product gave us more sales today? Which product gave us more profits today? Those are the type of questions that he will be asking, because he wants to know which product is helping us make more money, which product generates more profit for us, so that he can be able to know where we can focus on. If there is a particular product that does not sell much, that is when he can start asking, let's investigate why this particular product does not sell much. And this one that sells much, let's see if we can get more of it and all that. That is where now we'll start using other functions. So now we are going to start moving to other functions such as the COUNTIF and the SUMIF function. Now COUNTIF. So down here we put, let's say, elements, then we put counts, then we put sum. The first thing now is we can take down all these elements that we sold right down to, is it charger? Okay, let's copy it and come down and paste it here. We paste them here. All right. Now, the first thing is we want to calculate the frequency of sales of a particular product. The frequency of sales, what does that mean? It means we want to see how many times people came in to buy a particular product. If it's that people came in a high number of times to buy a particular product, it means that the turnover for that product is high. So for us to be able to do that, what we use is the COUNTIF function. That is to count the number of times people came in to buy a particular product. So how does the COUNTIF function work? Equals COUNTIF. This is it. So double click. So we are counting if we just have a range or we have a criteria. So we'll come down here. We choose this range. We click here and we drag, we hold and drag to the last range down that we saw, which was here. That is A2 right down to A66, comma. What is the criteria? The criteria is phone. So we click on this phone, which is A70, and we close the bracket. We say enter. So see what it's telling us. It's telling us that we sold phones 21 times. Are we there? So it's telling us that we sold phones 21 times. So we can still click here and hold and drag downwards, and it will tell us how many times we sold computers. We sold computers 4 times, fridges 4 times, fans 4 times, blender 11 times, pen 4 times, pencil 5 times, printer once, iron once, charger 10 times. That is it. What does that mean? It means that the highest number of times that people came into the shop, they came in to buy phones. So from now, we can already see that the highest number of customers who come into our shop, they come to buy phones. The next highest number is blenders. The next highest number is chargers. With time, we are still we'll move to visualization, which is still something little that I can show here, because even to our boss, we are still not going to give him this table. Yes, we can still come here. Let's say we still format this. We still format it like this and like this, and we still bold it. We can still decide and say, let's copy all this like this and still insert a chart that will tell our boss the counts, maybe column chart that will tell our boss the counts that we have. Maybe we take a bar like this, and we tell our boss, yes, we organize it like this. This way we can decide to say, let's sort it. Let's sort this data and make our boss to, maybe we can sort it from smallest to largest. So we select it, we come up to maybe sort, let me take this down, maybe sort smallest to largest. Let's expand this selection. We'll be coming to this with more. So this is it. So we can decide now to even add the labels to it. Yes, I know right now this may be much, but don't worry yourself very much. We'll be coming to look at this in details. So with this, we can come to maybe design and come to, let's say, layout or design. We'll come to maybe modify it and make sure that the labels come out and all that. Yes, so you see that these are the labels here. Yes, if we want to present this to our boss, we have summarized it to this level, but we will not still leave it at this level. We'll still take it maybe to this level. So you see that you as the boss, if they present something to you like this, just see how voluminous this data is. Imagine now that you summarize it to this level and show your boss, or you as the boss, you just see it like this. The first thing is that when you see how this is labeled and all that, it just tells you that, no, these are the things that sell more, and this is what I should concentrate on. It is easier for you to be able to see it here. Let me take this down. Now, I don't know if you have any question as far as this COUNTIF is concerned. If you don't have a question, we'll go to SUMIF. SUMIF now is telling us how much money we generated from the sales of a particular product. So we are still going to say equal to SUMIF. What is the range? The first range is now, we are summing this, so it's the same thing. So we first of all take the products that we sold, comma. Then the criteria, the first criteria is still this printer, comma. Now the sum range. You see now that it is this total revenue that we sold. So we want to see how much money we generated, not profits, but just how much sales we had from a particular product. So we take this, that is all, and we close our brackets. We say enter. So let's format this to control 1, accounting 0, then no symbol, enter. So we click this, we drag and come down. You see that it is not accepting this because the column is small. So we expand the column. That is it. So if you also decide to take this and present it on a chart, you see that it will be easy for you to present it on a chart. Maybe insert the column bar, something like this. And you see that fridges generated more money for us today. So this is just a general case to show us to see the length of the bar is telling us which element generated more money. So you see that fridges generated more money for us. That is it. So let's just delete this and go back. So that is the second case. So we have seen the sum if, we have seen the count if. So even for profit, if we want to see the element that generated the highest profit for us, you see that we will still use the sum if. So for this is revenue per product. Revenue per product to see how much, and this is sales frequency. Sales frequency. So here, maybe profit per product. We want to see how much profit, or which product generated much profit for us. Equals, we are still going to use sum if. We still take our list of products that we sold. Now, another shorter way of doing this is you click the first one, then you press Ctrl Shift down key, and it brings this. We are going to be seeing that we put a comma, we come down to the total profits, we click and hold, and we drag down here, and we close the brackets. That's all. Did we do it well? This is profits. Let's see this. No. Because, oh, yes, I did not put the criteria. Sum if all this, comma, criteria is printer, comma, then sum range is this profit range. Then we close the brackets, enter. So that is our profits. Control 1, accounting, none, 0. And pull it down. That's our profits. So that is what we have